Hello everyone, and welcome to what is quite possibly the silliest erosion guide of all time. We're going to be using the Sentry Champion that actually got buffed by like 50% last update and nobody noticed. And it actually kind of works decently with this strat on this map. So first, place your sub as top right as possible. Just shove him up there. And then get a dart right over here as left as possible, but making sure that the range border touches this crack in the ice right over here. And set the start to strong. And get range mid-round because you kind of need it to beat the round. If your sub spot is off, there is a chance you die on round 7 or round 8. I don't remember exactly which one it is. I think it's round 7. So yeah, if you messed up your sub spot, you'll be fine. Just try it again. And then get twin guns on round 9. Also, I should probably turn auto start off. That would be nice. Well, yeah, don't really have to do anything until round 14, so see you then. So, on round 14, all you gotta do, buy airburst. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. You could have gotten Psy here as well, but that would lose to 15, so it's better to just buy airburst and delay Psy until 18. So yeah, as I just mentioned, get Psy right over here on this platform on 18. Make sure you don't put them too far to the side, or else they will get purged at the end. And then, just for safety, get range on your sub mid-round. And on 21, get intel. And now we can just cruise all the way to 28, so see you then. So, it is round 28. Normally, we would get a 130 Jungle Druid here, but because of the somewhat recent price nerf, you can't do that anymore. So, we just have to buy a 100 Sniper right over here, set to strong, place it as bottom right as possible here. This spot will be important because we'll turn it into a main Moab later. So yeah, just make sure it's there. And now, on round 30, or just on 29, I guess, get a Druid up here. This specific spot is nice so that it gets intel for when the track is here, even though it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, get a Jungle Druid with Hardthorns. And technically, this is all we actually have to do, except for this one little ninja right over here on this platform. Yeah, this is all we actually have to do for like the entire early game until round 40. But I'm just going to buy things in advance just to make it slightly more consistent, I guess. I'm not sure if it'll help with anything, but we'll see. So, get a village right over here as bottom right as possible. Just as bottom right as possible, and get it to a discount village with bigger radius. And then we'll get, hopefully your sniper is discounted. It's very important that it is, so yeah, it isn't even that close to being not discounted, so yeah, placement shouldn't be too tight. Get large caliber for 37. Also, the reason why we went for a base ninja here instead of a camo dart is that now with the base tower buffs, buying a camo ninja, or not a camo ninja, sorry, just a base ninja, is actually slightly cheaper than buying a camo dart, like a whole camo dart. So, yeah, that's neat. But if you already have a dart, it is just cheaper to get camo on it. But we don't. So, yeah. And then for 39, get deadly precision on your sniper. And just leave it at a 300. Don't cross-path it yet. And then, for the most safety possible, on 40, set your jungle druid to last. And Psy should be on first. Having a jungle druid here set to last is very important because because it'll make it round 40 100% consistent. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I'll try to explain it. So basically what happens is sometimes the druid of the jungle will grab the second bloon, or the second ceramic, or the third ceramic, and Psy can't one-shot all of them. So yeah, setting it to last will always make it target the last one, so Psy can get the first 3. It's a neat little trick. Not required all the time, but here it kind of is. And then, now we'll be getting another sniper right over here, just as bottom left as possible, and we'll be getting it to a 030 bouncing bullet. And because of the new shrapnel buffs, 250 on the elite sniper that we're going to get is technically slightly worse than 052 with an alch buff still, but I've just found it to be more consistent with this strat in specific, so that's what I'll be going with here. And now, let's alch buff it with a 320 for now. And then, get jungle drums on your village, and I'll see you on round 50, because that's when we next have to do stuff. So, for round 50, what we're going to do, main Moab with Shrapnel, and Stronger Stim. And now, we'll save up straight for Elite Sniper. Elite Sniper is actually a pretty good mid-game on this map. Bads also works, but I've just found Elite Sniper to be by far the most consistent. And it also helps quite a bit late game, which is nice. And with the top crosspath, it actually pops DDTs. Also, get supply drop whenever you can, because the main attack buff actually helps a decent bit. Alex, supply drop, let's go! Anyway, I should stop being affected by mapless propaganda. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, for round 60, all you gotta do is nothing, because you can't really do anything. Except make sure to use the money crate for that epic $0. That's going to help a lot. Since we're slightly off of affording Elite Sniper on 63, the easiest way to beat it, scream the first wave, and then get Elite Sniper. And then make sure to set Elite Sniper to first. If it's on Elite, you will most likely lose, and you would not want to do that. Oh yeah, and now, set your main Moab to first. Doesn't make too much of a difference, but I guess it helps a little bit. I'll see you guys in a while. Actually, setting the main to first actually does help specifically for 75, and that's about it. So yeah, I'll actually see you on 75, because that's when we next have to do something. Actually, I lied. We're back on 74. Buy an engineer just as bottom left as possible on this platform. Very important that it's in discount range, but if you placed everything correctly, it should be, like, very easily. And then, get Sentry Expert with Deconstruction. We'll be getting this guy to the Sentry Champion in a little bit. For 75, make sure your maim is on first. If it's not, this round will do something called death. So, yeah, make sure it's on first. That's very important for this round. And then, just for some safety on round 78, scream the first wave. I'm not entirely sure if this is required. With good enough Sentry RNG, it probably isn't required. But it just helps. It just helps. Screaming the second wave is not required because Elite Sniper +1 camo damage goes kind of crazy. Or, it might be +2 camo damage? Yeah, it's 2 camo damage. But yeah, the extra camo damage goes kind of crazy. After round 80 takes approximately 9 years because our only Moab damage is a maim Moab. Get Sentry Champion. You can also scream here if you'd like. Shouldn't be required. But yeah, just get Sentry Champion as soon as possible. And now until round 90, there can theoretically be Sentry RNG, but I've never encountered it. After round 90, there is no real Sentry RNG because they're all going in one tiny corner. But yeah, until round 90, there could technically be a little bit of Sentry RNG, but I've never encountered it. So, before we get the Super Brittle, we'll get a little bit more support. More specifically, a bit of help with cleanup and DDTs. A 024 Relentless Glue, set to strong. And also primary training, so it has a bit more range and just a tiny bit more pierce. The rounds with ZOMGs are the ones where if you have bad Sentry RNG, you might have to use a Psi ability. Be on the lookout for that. It's possible, but unlikely. Oh yeah, now we can also get the embrittlement, I guess. Just as, like, top left as possible while still being in discount range. And just get it to 410 for now. '87 is an especially sketchy round with bad Sentry RNG, so yeah, just be ready to use either of Psi's abilities here. Here I was fine, but maybe you'll need to use one. Who knows? Sentry RNG is wild. Here it looks like I might, just based on these Sentry placements, but nope, seems like I'm fine. 89 can also look a little bit sketchy. But you should be fine. And now that it's round 90, basically all Sentry RNG is removed, and the rest of the game is completely free, which is pretty nice. Our embrittlement will be our only source of D camo, so it can be a little bit sketchy on DDT rounds, but with the super brittle attack speed buff, it'll be good. Because we don't have the super brittle yet, 92 might look a little bit sketchy, so if you want, use the Psi ability, or both. And then on 93, just as soon as possible, get the Esprit. That one DDT looked like it was about to sneak through, but the maim caught it, which is nice. And get Deep Freeze on your Super Riddle, because the slight bit of extra duration helps a little bit. And then, just for a little bit more RNG prevention and Ceram cleanup, a 420 Bloon Impact set to first. On 95, if you feel like you have to use a Psi ability for whatever reason, you won't. but if you feel like you have to, just go for it. No real drawback. We don't need them for 96 at all. For DDT rounds, it might actually be better to have your maim on strong, but I'm not entirely sure. .97 just deletes itself, because it's 97. And then for 98, just get a sub right over here, and get it to first strike as soon as you can. We'll need it for around 100. And on 98, when things start to look far, or when ZOMG, or when all the ZOMGs are gone, whichever happens first, use a scream to just obliterate like the entire round. And there is no more round 98, which is pretty nice. And then, now, let's get a spike factory right over here. And if we can click it, get it to a spike storm as soon as you can. And then get smart spikes. And set it to smart, I guess. If you want to stun this round, feel free. We will not need it on round 100. On round 100, just use Spike Storm off cooldown. And then first strike. And then stun if you'd like, but the entire round will die. And if you've done everything correctly, you should now have your Erosion black border with quite possibly the goofiest strategy to ever exist. Sentry Champion, Super Brittle, Elite Sniper. And Sai, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, you should now have your black border. That's pretty cool. I hope this guide helped you out in some way. Have a nice rest of your day. And goodbye.